So what is franchising? The franchise industry in the Middle East and North Africa is worth over $30 billion today. The annual growth of the Middle East franchising sector is around 27%. The International Franchise Association defines the term franchising as a continuing relationship in which a franchisor provides a license privilege to do business, plus assistance in organizing, training, merchandising, and management in return for consideration from the franchisee. So, if buying an existing business doesn't sound right for you, but starting from scratch also sounds a little bit intimidating, you could be suited for a franchise ownership. Just what is a franchise? And how do you know if you're cut out to be a franchisee? Essentially, a franchisee pays an initial fee and ongoing royalties to a franchisor. In return, the franchisee gains the use of a trademark, ongoing support from the franchisor, and the right to use the franchisor's system of doing business to sell its products or services. The owner is called the franchisor and the investor is called the franchisee. So the owner, he owns a trademark. He'll provide a proper business support model. He'll have guidelines and policies in place in return for fees. As a franchisee, you'll pay those fees, abiding by the guidelines and policies, and you'll be able to also use the trademark, product, and service of the franchisor. There are two types of franchising. So one looks at product distribution of franchising. So basically, it's the right to sell or distribute a product manufactured by the franchisor. Business format franchising looks more at giving you access to the trademark and the product and really teaching you about the business approach and the methodology so you can run your own business. Back in 1965, Fred DeLuca set out to fulfill his dreams of becoming a medical doctor. Searching for a way to help pay for his education, a family friend suggested he open a submarine sandwich shop. With a loan of $1,000, the friend, a guy called Dr. Peter Buck, offered to become Fred's partner, and the business relationship was forged that would change the landscape of the fast food industry. The first store was opened in Bridgeport, Connecticut in 1965. Then they set a goal of having 32 stores opened in 10 years. And soon Fred learned the basics of running a business, as well as the importance of serving a well-made, high-quality product and providing great customer service. He also took a lot of care to make sure he kept operating costs low and looked for great locations where he would ensure a greater percentage of success. These early lessons continue to serve as a foundation for the successful Subway restaurants around the world. By 1974, the two of them owned and operated 16 stores, and they realized that they're not going to reach the goal of 32 stores, so they began to put together the Subway franchising model. Today, they're the world's largest submarine sandwich shop with over 37,000 stores in 104 countries, and considering the high output of potential return, it's quite a low investment. Usually, Subway stores are between $120,000 to $300,000, depending on where they are, and they're quite simple to operate. So let's do a small exercise on some of the things that we've talked about. So if we want to identify which of the following are product versus business franchises. Business franchise, it's a restaurant system that you will operate and run as your own business. Coca-Cola is a product. Ford Motor Company is a product. If you look at agencies, for example, around the Middle East that own or are responsible for the distribution of Ford motor vehicles and sales, that's a type of franchise from a product. Parties run by Americana Middle East would be a business franchise.